Hey, friend, thank you for being here. I know your time is valuable, and I'm so grateful you pressed play today. This will be a short, but hopefully rich episode, something to get your wheels turning, to stir up a little self reflection, and help you get curious about a subject we often oversimplify. And the subject is self care. As I'm recording this, I'm packing up for a Caribbean vacation with my family, heading back to my roots to the beautiful Dominican Republic. I plan to unplug, soak in the sun, write, breathe deep, and reconnect with my people, with inspiration, and with God. If you've never been to the Dominican Republic, this is your invitation to go someday. It's vibrant, it's soulful, and it's grounding in ways that can't be explained, only experienced. And it's been a long time for me. It's been years. And so I'm excited to go back. But before I jet off, I wanted to drop this in your heart, talk a little bit about this subject that I've been playing around with certain ideas and aspects of this, because sometimes self-love and self-care, they intertwine. And I think it's important for us to ask, what if your self-care isn't what it seems? What if it's not actually coming from love, but from fear, pressure, or even performance? And self-care has been a hot topic. It's been talked about a lot. And we're in that self-care era. But what does it really mean, and how does it support the deeper things? So today I want to zoom in on the difference between self-care and self-love and ask, what do your rituals, your habits, or even your resistance to self-care say about the way you love and accept yourself? In my book, I explore the deep relationship between self-worth and self-confidence and the key differences, because they're interrelated, but there are some key differences, and also how self-acceptance really is the doorway to self-love. It's a precursor to self-love, in my opinion. Without self-acceptance, even the most luxurious rituals can become forms of quiet self-rejection. And without awareness, self-care becomes less of a gift and more of a mask. So we have to just start to distinguish the things we pick up as self-care. Are they hurting us? Are they masking things? Are they for performance? Are they exhausting? Do they feel like a burden? And we constantly have to revisit these things that we call self-care and these rituals that we spend time, money, energy on, and decide if it's still aligned with us. And so I want to break it down into three aspects. The first one is the psychological layer. Psychologically, self-care can be like a thermometer. It really reveals our inner scripts, the beliefs that we've inherited, often unconsciously. So when we engage in these self-care activities or rituals, do you do them for what reason? It's worth exploring, especially when you start feeling disaligned with certain things, or maybe exhausted, or you feel like it's time consuming and it's not really energizing. You can feel it inside of yourself when something is no longer connecting in a deeper level with you, or really serving you in some way that really matters to you. And that can evolve, right? When you question certain behaviors and you just get curious and you begin to have self-awareness around these rituals, you maybe can uncover the true root on why you've adopted these rituals or self-care habits. If it's fueled by shame or an urgency or the need to prove, it's not actually care. It's really coping. Your nervous system doesn't lie. Your patterns are honest, even when your words aren't. The second component that I want to talk about is the spiritual layer. Spiritually, self-care becomes sacred when it flows from the truth of who you are. When you believe you're already loved, already whole, already worthy, your care becomes an act of reverence, not resistance. We don't start to adopt things because we feel that we need to, because that will elevate our love for ourselves, and that will create value for who we are as a person. you're not fixing yourself. You're tending to the divine within you. And every self-care ritual and habit that you've adopted is to enhance that divinity within you. It's to reveal and to bring that out and not to cover it up. You can ask yourself, is this drawing me closer to God and to my grounded identity? Or is it disconnecting me from what truly matters? There's something I feel off if it is taking you away from developing stronger spiritual roots. And the third aspect that I want to talk about, and we'll need to zoom out a bit, is sociologically. We have to be honest about how culture shapes our self-care habits. Are we doing things because they truly serve us, or because they're trending, they're praised, or they're expected? Are we glowing because we're aligned, or because we are silently over-functioning while hiding our burnout behind like jade roller and some affirmations? If you ask yourself this, would I still do this if no one saw it? Would I still feel good about this if there was no external praise? Sometimes the most rebellious thing you can do is listen to your body, your truth, your pace, especially when the world is telling you to hustle, to shrink, to perform, to adopt these things that are popular, the things that we think we need to feel better for ourselves. It's like what's hot out there. And you need to be able to distinguish what is for you and what is not. And I want to share with you a practical litmus test. Here's a simple tool you can use daily as a check-in. Before you act in the name of self-care and you adopt this ritual, this behavior, this habit, pause and ask yourself, if no one saw me do this, would I still do it? If my body or life never changed, would this still feel nourishing? And am I doing this to return to myself or to escape from myself? When your care comes from peace, love, and alignment, it heals. When it comes from pressure or perfectionism, it usually hides. But here's another layer I want to add, because this can be like deep and we're analyzing things that might just bring us just pure, sheer joy. Don't let this episode make you second guess every bubble bath, every dance party in the kitchen, or neon manicure that you get. Not all self-care has to be deep. Some of it is sacred because it just delights us. It brings us joy because it reminds you that you're alive. Sometimes like the most honest act of self-care is letting yourself play without needing to justify it. Letting yourself enjoy something simply because you enjoy it. You don't need a deeper meaning to laugh. You don't need to earn your way into lightness. So yes, reflect, go deep, get curious, but also let yourself laugh, let yourself rest, let yourself enjoy being a human, because joy is truly medicine too. So as you move through your day, your week, or even your next face mask moment, ask yourself, is this self-care or is this self-correction? Let it be less about the ritual and more about the root. And if something does no longer feel aligned with you, something that you've adopted feels like a burden and a mask, and just you're not finding that joy in it, that pleasure, that deepness, then that is really a sign for you maybe to reevaluate that ritual and ask yourself, is this still serving me? Let your care not be something you perform for approval, but something you practice because you are already worthy. All right, my friend, I am off to pack my sunscreen and my journal and all the other little things that are still left. But thank you so much for being here with me. And remember, your reflection is not a place to find flaws. This wasn't an episode so you can look at flaws, but it's a place to meet your truth and just to always be curious, always question things, and always trust your intuition and that inner voice that's maybe telling you to reevaluate something. And that's my invitation to you today. Until next time, stay grounded, stay loved, and stay curious.